that was related to plunder.
No.
This one is interesting because you chose to team up with Senator Bongbong Marcos, whose family has a deep history related to ill-gotten wealth. So how do you match that
Well, in
with
the first
your
place,
own values?
I decided to run pretty late. I was later than most because of my cancer. And then, in the second place, he's been my student in the UP College of Law. So I have personal knowledge of his intellectual competence. And although he did not finish in UP, he dropped out. And in the third place, he's been to Oxford. At least he's been exposed to the intellectual environment there, although he has a certificate of completion. Plus, lastly, I don't believe that the sins of the fathers should visit on the children. What kind of philosophy is that?
So right now, you're talking of a statistical tie between him and Leni Robredo. Tell us, what would the difference be if one of them wins as vice president? What would be the edge of the other and the weakness of another?
Oh, Bongbong would be more focused on gathering power and exercising it. Leni will be more focused on the humanitarian and welfare activities of the government.
So isn't that better then? I mean, is gathering power and exercising, I mean, do you say it as a negative thing or a positive thing?
Well, it depends on what he uses the power for.
Okay. So, you know, people, you know, you have Serge Osmeña saying that will be the laughing stock of the world if Senator Bongo or Marcos wins again for national office, higher office. Do you believe this to be true?
Of course not. The world is engrossed with many other problems. For example, in Europe, the problem of the European migrant refugees. That is such a bomb waiting to explode, and so on. The world is preoccupied with many other events. It has no time to make a laughing stock of a person in a tiny developing country that nobody ever heard of.
Okay. It's a bit brutal to say. Aren't we an emerging market where, like, we were once the basket case, now we are the shining light of Asia?
Those are encomiums paid by Filipinos to Filipinos.
So you don't believe this?
No.
What about our GDP numbers? I mean, under the Pinoy administration, you're talking about an average of a 6.1% growth in the last 5 years.
Statistics do not dictate economic prosperity. You can fudge statistics in the first instance. We should see it in our day-to-day life. You should see people walking in a well-ordered fashion, well-dressed for office, and in our streets. And